Hello there, LinkedIn Land. Welcome to LinkedIn Life Live. Happy Monday. I'm Bill McCormick here with the rest of the Social Sales Link team, Bryn Tillman, Sally Jo Lamont, and Bob Woods. And today we're going to talk about who should you connect with on LinkedIn. Bryn, I'm going to throw it over to you. Who should they be connecting with on LinkedIn? How do we do this?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And there are really three kinds of connectors. There's the LinkedIn Open Networker. That's the lion, right? And these are people, right? But these are people that just will connect with everyone. To me, that's like walking into a Chamber of Commerce or networking meeting with a whole bunch of business cards, walking around saying, "Hi, I'm Bryn, I'll take your card. Hi, I'm Bryn, I'll take your card." Then I go back to the office and I put a big rubber band around them and put them in the corner of the desk. What kind of opportunities are you getting from that, right? Then there's the purist. The purist is someone who will walk into that networking meeting. Let's say I go in and I see Sally Jo on the other side of the room and I make a beeline for Sally Jo and we talk the whole time and we never meet anyone new. Purists only connect with people they know. They don't expand their network and keep their minds open to other opportunities. And then there's the networker. And that's kind of where we think everyone should fall. And part of this is be open to having conversations with people and determine whether or not they're right. Just a quick little story, and I'm going to hand this off to Sally Jo, I think. Yeah. So just a quick little story. We had a client who had been just ignoring everyone. And when they stopped ignoring and started doing some of the things Sally Jo's about to tell you, all of a sudden they started getting opportunities popping in that they never would have gotten because they weren't a purist, they weren't a lion, but they were a networker. So Sally Jo, why don't you talk about some of the options that folks have with their new connection requests?
Yeah, so when you get a connection request, you have three options. The first one is just to accept it, which is without even looking at their profile. Some people do this, and that's similar to what Bryn was saying. Let me collect all these business cards. Oh, look how many I have. Isn't that great? No, that doesn't work. So, but you don't want to accept everyone, and we'll get into more detail about that. But you can accept them. You can ignore them totally, which is also what Bryn just spoke about. That doesn't help anybody's network. Or you can be a networker, or you can actually reply to them without accepting. So we'll talk about that in more detail, but they're the three things you can do. I personally think it's great to go out there and make sure that you look at their profile, number one, and hopefully they've given you a message of why they want to connect with you. But most folks don't do that. And if you know them and you are familiar with them and they're in your sphere, I say take the connection request and accept it. If you totally ignore them, there must be a reason to do that. So, somebody who's spamming you perhaps, and that's pretty easy to detect, or somebody who just goes out and again tries to collect all those business cards, that doesn't work. I ignore those people. But then you also have that ability to reply without accepting. And I know Bill's going to get into that more, but once you have accepted a connection request, what kind of message should you give them, Bill?
No, I think Bob is going to talk.
I think Bob,
the other big guy.
Bob. It's the Bill and Bob.
It's the Bill and Bob show.
It causes me stress. And Bryn.
So once you've decided to accept someone into your network, you need a really good strategy to not only welcome them, but to start one of those all-important conversations. So here's one way to do that. It's the way that we use around here. It's the way that we teach as well. So once you've accepted, you send them what we call a welcome message that not only obviously welcomes them into your network, but provides some value as well. So here's a variation of mine. Obviously, you can listen to this and put your own stuff into it, but here's mine. First name, thanks so much for connecting with me on LinkedIn. If you'd like, I could send you a link to some resources that can help you with your LinkedIn selling efforts. If you have any LinkedIn questions in the meantime, please let me know. I'm always happy to help. And then sign it, Bob. Then send it. At that point, if they reply back indicating interest in receiving the link, send the link to them. Then you can circle back in a couple days to see if your new connection has any comments, and then you'll probably be able to continue the conversation on LinkedIn to the point where it would make sense to take it out of LinkedIn and onto a phone call or a Zoom session or whatever. We do that very successfully around here, and it leads to a lot of good conversations that can and do lead to sales. So let's say someone sent you an invite, but there's no message to it. You have no idea why they want to connect with you. Yada, yada, yada. We get all of those. We get them all the time. You get them all the time as well. Bill knows how to handle that situation. Bill?
Yeah, thanks, Bob. So yeah, people do this a lot, and there's many different reasons. There are actually people who teach out there in the LinkedIn training world not to send a connection request with a message. I don't know why. Their numbers show something, or I don't know. But then also there are people that don't know how to do it. And there's also a different way of using the mobile app to do it. So LinkedIn itself can be confusing. So you'll receive connection requests with no idea of what you should do with it. Like, why does this person want to connect? So here's a great idea. Let's ask them. And yeah, you can actually do that because listen, you're the gatekeeper of your network. Who you allow into your network can have a direct impact on the others that are in your network. For example, if you allow someone in, so you accept their connection request, you've done no screening, you haven't asked them why they want to connect with you, you just say, okay, I'm accepting you, and you've done no screening, and it turns out that they spam message people, then it won't be long before they're spam messaging not only you, but me if I'm in your network and other people in your network. And that's a good way to have people maybe unconnect with you if they're finding out that people are coming in that way. So what do? Well, what you want to do is you want to ask them. So it's really easy on your homepage on LinkedIn. You go up to the top to the My Network and click on that. That's going to open up a screen. You're going to see the 3 most recent connection requests you've received. The problem is you're only going to have a few options on that screen. What you want to do is go up to the top on the right-hand side. It'll say see all, and then the number. This morning mine was 17. I had 17 outstanding connection requests. I'm not going to ask Bryn how many she has outstanding. She beat me, I'm sure. Oh, she worked this weekend. So it'll have a number there. If you had no outstanding, it'll say manage invitation. So click on that and it'll open up all of your outstanding invites, all the invites that you've received. You'll have then 3 options. You can ignore or accept, which Sally, Joe, and Bob spoke about. But then if you look under their picture and their headline, there'll be a message icon there. If they've not sent you a message, why? Then you can click on that. It'll then open up the messaging tab with a message to them, and you can send them a message. Here's what I sent. Bob, thanks for the invite to connect. I typically only connect with people I've met or have had engagement with here on LinkedIn. Can you tell me how you found me and what triggered the connection request? So it's picture tennis. Boom, I just hit the ball back in Bob's court. Now he's got to tell me why. So what are we doing here? We're being the gatekeepers of our network, and we're managing that to the side. If they come back with a pitch message, ignore, bye-bye, see you later. But oftentimes people come back and say, oh, I saw this piece of content, or I was talking to Bryn the other day and she said I should connect with you. And again, they just don't know they should send a message. Mm-hmm. So with those people, I'm like, great, happy to have you in my network. And then I send my welcome message. And if it's unsure, then I might put them on hold for a little while. But that's just one of the most valuable tools for building your network the right way. So remember, be a networker. Don't be a lion. Don't be a purist. Make sure you're looking at your network and deciding who do you want to ignore, who do you want to accept, and when you accept, send a welcome message. And if you're unsure, send them a message. So thanks for joining us for another Monday session of LinkedIn Life Live. Remember, we're here every Monday from 12:30 a.m. Eastern Time on until we're
PM.
PM.
PM. Did I say AM?
You did.
If you didn't hear AM, no one would be happy with us.
If it's AM, I wouldn't be I'd be done. So thanks for being with us, everyone. We'll see you next week. 12:30
Bye. Have a great week.
time. Bye-bye.
Bye.